Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is a current Divine Masculine energy channeling. I've been up since about 2 a.m. We did a family dinner yesterday out of town for my cousin's birthday. And when we got home from the family dinner, my poor little Peanut, my 5-year-old little Savvy, started projectile vomiting everywhere. I spent most of the night up with her while she was sick. She's resting on the couch. You might hear her in the background or the TV in the background. She's kind of just woken up from a sleep from this morning. But I was asked to jump on and channel these energies for you guys. So bear with me. The energy is very intense. I do feel many in the collective are facing all kinds of opposition when it comes to these unions. In order for the masculine to overcome all of this stubbornness is what came through. I got a lot of downloads while I was kind of in and out of sleep last night. I didn't get much sleep. So I feel the masculine really is trying to figure out how he can preserve his personal integrity. He's facing all kinds of oppositions that are detrimental to his life right now, all kinds of negative forces. And this energy is creating the necessary combination of obstructions in order for the masculine to kind of combat his fear and to know that his life truly does hold value. I was taken to Godhead Vishnu. And I kind of feel the masculine is being asked, does he qualify for this position of divine masculine with the divine feminine? So there's been this tempering energy when it comes to all of these oppositions, all of these negative circumstances. And there's been a lot of psychic attunement this weekend that is going to guarantee proper action of the masculine moving forward. So I kind of feel this psychic gift coming forward is giving the masculine this steep knowing that it is kind of time to fight for this connection and to find the drive to release all of these opposing forces. So a lot of struggle coming up, and this energy is exerting all of this extreme pressure on the divine masculine and all of those around him in order for him to discover the true value of his life. So like I talked about earlier in a video, we all get to a point in our life where there must be a reason that we exist. We're here for a purpose, something to love that will elevate us beyond all of these struggles of simply surviving. A lot of these masculines have been operating out of survival mode. And I feel this opposing energy is backing up the masculine's capability to forcefully confront all of these adversities in and around him. So I think a lot of these masculines enjoy a good fight. I think they do enjoy feeding conflicting energies. But this isn't coming forward for that purpose. I feel the energy really is enhancing that it's time that the masculine stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves and to correct all of these past actions. So I think a lot of the masculines might begin to experience this very intense fiery energy when it comes to embracing fierce independence. This highly focused stubbornness is actually going to work in the masculine's favor if he is to meet all of these challenges head on. And I do feel a lot of death energy, not literal death, but, you know, the death of the ego, a lot of truth seeking, and a lot of perseverance as the masculine kind of discerns who's for him and who's not, and who to turn to in these times of struggle, who really holds value for him, and what is really worth fighting for. I feel a lot of the masculines have been wasting a lot of their energy engaging in all of these karmic battles that just aren't meant for them. And they're being asked to look into their intuitive awareness to tap into their own potential. And I feel like 3 different gateways have recently opened over the weekend. And everything that's fallen deaf on the masculine's ears is coming forward because the masculine's, you know, been influenced by all of these negative karmic attachments. And if he is to preserve his personal integrity moving forward, he's going to have to face these opposing forces and to come forward with a compromise with the divine feminine. I also feel a lot of the masculines are feeling very alienated at this stage within the opposition, almost like totally isolated. in order to concentrate all of these cosmic energies and to endure these cosmic energies and to find the strength to stubbornly fight this transformation alone. So this alienation, I feel, is almost like this deep, painful confinement. They're showing me the imprisonment card from the Kipper deck. And, you know, this is where the masculine has to embrace where he has been blinded to the truth and where he has refused to come to the divine feminine's aid, although I don't think any of the feminines really need the masculine at this point in time. Many of us are on the other side of all of those struggles. I also feel when it comes to this deep misunderstanding between the twins, it's creating this crystallization within the masculine's DNA structure in order to clear up these misunderstandings. And I do feel the masculine has attracted a lot of new misunderstandings in his life due to his stubbornness and all of this opposition and the lack of recognition for the divine feminine. So at the root of all of this opposition has been this persistency to not face these opposing forces. And at the root of this struggle really lies the divine masculine stubbornness and his insistence on maintaining the status quo. So therefore it's bringing in all of these provocation energies, obstructions, as the masculine, you know, begins this journey towards his spiritual self. So a lot of mental analysis, a lot of reassessment, reevaluation is coming forward as all of this emotional awareness kind of surfaces. And the masculine is being asked to disengage in the karmic contracts and to find his determination to face and confront all of these obstacles and only withdraw temporarily in order to, you know, regain back control of his life. So this chronic indecision, this refusal to face the divine feminine has kind of come full circle is what I'm feeling. And a lot of emoting, a lot of moodiness, a lot of emotions are coming forward with this intense pressure being put on the root center. I do feel a lot of anger is coming up for purging with all of this provoking pressure in order to evolve the divine masculine's emotional awareness of his spiritual self. A lot of self-revelations, self-actualization is coming through when it comes to the divine masculine's emotional awareness for his humanity's destiny. So this mutative process is like a deep spiritual release as the masculine kind of taps into his spirit consciousness through the solar plexus. And this energy is asking him to persevere through all of these mood swings and to really tap in to these higher spiritual energies. A lot of revelations, and spirit is showing the masculine what is truly correct for him. And all of these irritations are really highlighting what's not meant for the masculine, what's not right for him. So a lot of the masculines have reacted negatively to this connection, to owning their spiritual gifts and to developing their gifts. And a lot of the feminines have developed a really thick skin when it comes to living with this separation. And so I feel the masculine is really needing to get in touch with and work through all of their feelings that are coming forward. I feel they're surrounded by this illicit misery that has kind of been brought forward by the karmic. And hey, misery loves company, and we hear that. So it's taken a long time for the masculine to learn this lesson. And if he's to bring forward positive impact into the collective, he's going to have to release these contracts and embrace the true mutation of the spiritual journey and to do the right thing and to do what is right. So a lot of awareness as far as the totality of the connection of the mission that the twins share, and everything that's fallen deaf upon the masculine's ear is now coming forward with even more meaning and these emotions in excess, especially when it comes to all of the past substance abuses that the masculines have played into. And I feel the masculine is being asked to confront these addictive behaviors, any substance abuses, and to, you know, release, to tackle these addictions head on, to tackle this deep emotional discomfort, And it's almost like, you know, this karmic punishment to a certain degree for all of his past assaults against the divine feminine. And he's kind of being pushed into confronting all of this because he can no longer avoid taking responsibility for the damage done. And I feel, you know, this lack of consideration for all of the pain that was caused. You know, the fact that the masculine self-sacrificed in these karmic contracts is bringing forward disastrous outcomes in the energy is what I feel. And I'm being shown the temperance card. So temperance, it's like this very intense, careful evaluation and reassessment before taking action. So he has to understand the value of these feelings and these spiritual instincts if he's to establish proper use of power. And I do feel his faulty beliefs are kind of crumbling with that negative circumstance, and he can no longer ignore everything. You know, the masculines have been so very single-minded, and they've not wanted to, you know, embrace this journey. They've been spiritually bypassing, and I don't think they're going to be able to spiritually bypass anymore, because we are here to embrace this third eye vision and to establish these new emotional patterns. So moving forward, obstacles in our lives will become irrelevant. We can't bypass. We can't spiritually bypass. A lot of these masculines had a very big ego, a lot of hard-headedness, and if they are to be exalted, they're going to have to find their determination to solve this problem once and for all, to embrace practicality and to come forward as that nurturer for the divine feminine. And they cannot come forward seeking the divine feminine, hoping that she can attempt to solve all of their problems. I think this ego dominance and these abuses of his past spiritual gifts and this self-aggrandizement really has been the detriment in the masculine's world recently. And he's going to have to find that emotional drive to, you know, keep biting through all of these energies. It is the justice energy coming through. It is like the gate of the hunter or the huntress, and I'm being shown the archer. So he has to deliberately decide to take back control of his life. I do feel he's working very closely with Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael has, you know, he's sounded the alarm. He's warned the masculine. He's warned the masculine as a last result that if he wants peacefulness in his life, he's going to have to turn to where he has refused to turn to. I do feel this pleading energy. The masculine will be pleading, and the fall of the ego is bringing forward, you know, the ability for the masculine to respect the feminine, to recourse when it comes to his actions, and to ask for, you know, help. And what I heard was might is right. So these illegitimate actions of the masculine are now creating all kinds of interferences. The masculine, you know, has deep regret and severe regret when it comes to how they treated the divine feminine. And this very uncomfortable ego breakdown is very severe at this point in time. And it's only through this severest cosmic action that the masculine will be most successful. He can no longer reject the feminine on the material plane, or he's going to have all kinds of manifestations when it comes to his materialism ways and losing all kinds of financial support if he is to take control of his personal domain. So I feel this spiritual will coming forward, breaking free from that survival energy. A lot of the masculines don't like to be told what to do, and I feel the karmic is like looking over his shoulder, breathing down his neck, and the masculine knows he is destined to serve others on the journey for the betterment of humanity. But if he is to assume his rightful power, his rightful place on the throne, he can no longer control others. He can't control through forceful resistance, no matter what his intentions are. He has to come forward with benevolent leadership. So I feel this invitation for the masculine to manifest everything he wants in his life, and to be willing to oversee the future wealth of the spiritual community. But he's going to have to release this powerlessness. Like a lot of these masculines feel like they're powerless, and it is this total withdrawal from the karmic energy and this lack of will for the material path in order to protect the ego is breaking everything down. Everything is breaking down, and the masculine's going to have to carefully strategize when it comes to facing all of these opposing forces and to establish a proper response. So success will come in action, and clarity will come in taking action. The ego seeks to control and to succeed, and the masculine's been following the ego rather than his own spiritual instincts, and he's really made a lot of poor judgments. And this has created a lot of negative forces when it comes to this lack of emotional motivation. So I think a lot of the masculines might be dealing with a lot of legal issues too in order for this rebalancing. This elimination energy is coming forward when it comes to the well. I think the well has run dry, and there's not a lot of resources available for the masculine. I was also taken to Godhead Jesus Christ throughout the night, and the masculine has been shown how to build a qualitative foundation, and this is a prerequisite to establish the common good for humanity. And I do feel the masculine is like this vital storehouse of information when it comes to these new patterns and closing out all of these cycles, and it is this self-fulfilling prophecy. And I do feel all of this superficiality around the masculine has given this deep lack of inspiration. And if the masculine is to transform his gifts into a common currency, he's going to have to go into the depths of Hades and to face all of these limitations and to release all of this superficiality to bring forward this new wave of energy within the collective. So a lot of potential, a lot of rooted, deep, instinctual cosmic memory is coming forward to bring depth to this logical energy surrounding the masculine. And I do feel more than anything, he does want to express and share the depth of his very being with the divine feminine and to correct the imperfect world that we live in, to bring forward this newfound new earth energy. But he's experiencing deep feelings of inadequacy. I think he fears that he won't be able to explain himself properly when he comes forward. I think he's experiencing all kinds of periods of frustration now that all of this has come into the realization of his logical mind. And give me 1 second, guys. I don't know where the remote is, Sam. Okay, can we put Abby Hatcher on for now, please? Well, what do you want? Okay, 1 minute. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. My daughter needed the cartoons turned back on. Hope I didn't lose anybody. Anyway, so all of these feelings of inadequacy are bringing all kinds of emotional depth. I think a lot of the masculines are over-concerned with this deep sense of lack, and they know that the feminine is expecting them, waiting. And this initiation really is pushing the masculine to find a solution in all of these problems as he kind of reevaluates his foundations of everything in his life and learning to be gentle with himself. So this power of clarity is coming forward. It's like this really cold, chill spiritual breeze that is like chilling the masculine to the bone. And I remember that feeling in the beginning stages. So this is really going to maximize the intuitive clarity that is demanding the masculine to take action when it comes to this existential crisis that he's been facing. A lot of the masculines have been deep into confusion when it comes to this inner meaning in their life, and they know it's time to take action. And something about the moon, I know there was an aspect with the moon today that's now shifted into Taurus, aligning with Uranus and Taurus. So the masculine's not going to be able to keep substituting these emotions with addictions, because that's going to create more confusion. And the confusion will continue to overpower the intuition and the brain waves of the masculine's energy if he does not take power back of his life from all of these addictive energies. So self-empowerment is key with all of this clarity of intuitive insight that's coming forward. And all of these energies are penetrating the masculine at the very core, screaming in his ears. You have to be alert. You have to be focused. You have to hear the messages coming from your guides and your intuition. You have to break out of survival mode. You can no longer ignore this connection. I feel a lot of accusations a lot of accusations surrounding the masculine, and if he is to alleviate all of these fears, he's just going to have to go on his instinctual hunches and to come forward with that voice of reason and to speak to the feminine clearly, honestly, and openly. And I do feel the feminines are being asked to listen and pay attention to what the masculine is saying, because there is no tomorrow to fear if we are to align with these energies. And I pulled a couple cards from the Rose Oracle this morning, and I did get the Brothers of Light and the Temple of the Rose, and the guides have asked me to read out of the book for you for that as well. So the Temple of the Rose is on page 120. I know it's dark in here today, but we got the curtains closed. So really, it's this replenishment of health, rest, and self-care. So a lot of sacred waters are bringing the masculine life. I feel Mother Mary is working with the divine masculine, replenishing him, restoring his life. And it is the divine feminine's waters that the masculine needs to survive this upheaval at this time. So the masculine is being asked to drop deep into his roots to receive this nourishment that he so deeply needs, to appreciate and protect and honor the very thing that he has taken for granted, which is the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the mother of the sacred waters. She is the one he needs to go to for this deliverance. So a reprioritization of his well-being, I feel, what is no longer sustainable. And the feminine's energy is reminding the masculine just how imbalanced he is. And I do feel a lot of them are struggling with their health at this time. And his body is deeply yearning for the divine feminine. And we are calling home the Brotherhood of the Rose. It is about brotherhood. It is about family. And the masculine has avoided taking this right action for such a long time. And as we inch closer to that Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, we are inching so much closer to this massive global awakening. And the masculine's energy is needed in conjunction with the divine feminine's more than ever. So this sacred masculine energy is being ignited in the divine feminine, in the divine masculine's life. And he is being called to balance these energies now. A lot of illumination with this lunar cycle of what we are meant to birth into this new world. So the masculine is being honored to sacred, is being asked to honor his sacredness and to mature as a masculine being, to honor the part that lives deep within him, and to bring forward reverence towards the divine feminine, to recognize that she truly is the goddess of all life, and to commit to protecting and living in devotion to the divine feminine. So the sacred masculine knows that striving and overpowering, enduring and conquering are not helpful. The sacred masculine is strong yet tender, protective but not defensive. So this is really a sign that the masculines are being called to work very hard on their own sacred masculine energy and to mature and to rise as that leader. And to embrace this deep ancestral healing of all of these paternal cycles. So the sacred masculine does exist within all of us. We all have feminine and masculine, but the energies encircling the masculine are saying it's time to do the sacred work. It's time to return to the feminine goddess and to embody what it is that we are here to bring forward. They are being asked to wear their heart proudly on their sleeve. And they have been called to come forward to the feminine in the energies. It's kind of what I'm feeling. And that was just my quick little channeling. I'm not going to pull cards today. I got a big house to clean here. And I still got a little sick peanut. And I'm working on the astrology forecast for the week ahead. So do feel free to join me tomorrow to know what we're in store for the week ahead. We got some very powerful cosmic energies really pushing us into action. So I do feel this is the week where a lot of these masculines will come forward. So get ready, get grounded, stay in your element, and be that pillar of light, divine feminine, because I do strongly believe that we are all in the home stretch for this Lionsgate portal. And that's what I got for you guys today. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.